Good afternoon, welcome. It's Anna here, and today I am here with a flip through. The rose journal is finally done, and I want to share her with you. So let's start with the measurements, or I will forget them. This is 9 3/4 by 6 3/4, and the spine is about an inch. And as you can see, it's almost an alligator mouth on this one already. I couldn't stop myself. She is made out of a repurposed book from 1938, so it's not really old, or it's vintage, but not antique. And she has 9 signatures that is sewn in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, a hidden hole back spine, and a total of 220 pages. I have covered the front and the back with different images from a big book about roses that I have. And I also put this tiny trim here and here. And I covered the spine with another lace that is also vintage. There is a permanent closure that is made out of lovely pink sari silk. And let's go through this chunky lady. 9 signatures, I said that, yes. So the end papers are made out of scrapbooking paper that I had in my stash. I have sewn on this vintage lace with roses on to make pockets back and front. Let me check that I'm in frame. Good. And in the front pocket I had just tucked in this little journaling card, and this is a genuine vintage birthday card from, well, I cannot read the date, but it's vintage. On the first page I have made a small collage. This is same paper as the end paper, and we have a Tim Holtz girl here, and also a small calendar from 1938, because, as I said, the book was originally published in 1938. And this is the original first page of the book. It was about animals and especially insects, so I didn't use very many original text block pages. Here we have the publishing date again. Let me just grab a sip of coffee. I will try and be quick because this is a, as I said, a 220 pages book. So we have tea dyed paper. This one has been dyed with some lace on it. This is the end papers from another book. It has rosebuds on it. Here we have some music, and on top of the music I have glued down this. It's the index index card, and then the index of the index cards. And there's a rose on top of it that I glued down, and inside it I have made a journaling tag, and this is just vintage paper that I cut in half. You can journal on the back. I have stenciled here, and there is some sari silk up on the top there. This book is full of rose ephemera. You will notice this is some stationery with, of course, roses and butterfly that's been spritzed with coffee, and I have hinged it with some washi tape to another piece of stationery. I believe it was. In the center of the signature we have, of course, Edith Holden and her roses, the dog roses. Here we have, no, this is not stationery, this is the other hinge page. This is a book page with some roses on. That's, I believe it comes from another rose book than the cover of the journal. and this has also been coffee dyed. The rest of the music paper, flyleaf, and the coffee stained paper. Now we have reached the back of the first signature, and this is a flip out. You can journal on the back of this. This is from a paper pack I purchased from Jacqueline at Souvenir de la France, and I had to put it in, and I just hinged it in with some paper. And I believe this is actually the offcut from the bottom part of a rose page. And up here is just a stamp, a genuine stamp that I glued in. The second signature begins with some tea-dyed paper, and then we have the first tip in with this is scrapbooking paper from a book with scrapbooking with papers, and the reminiscence. And I have just put this vintage card in here. This is a genuine postcard, and I put it in with some photo corners, and this can be taken out if you like. And that's tipped in, and it is backed with another piece of stationery with roses on, so you can journal on here. And then that's the first page from the original textbook. Here we have another book page from a book about roses, and we have some avocado dyed paper. Here we have antique book page from 1893, and on this page I have glued down this vintage card with the roses on. That was in quite bad shape, so I decided to glue it in as a pocket. And inside the pocket we have two little journaling cards, one with a rose and one that says "Keep calm and smell the roses." Here we have a vintage French genuine document with the stamp, and here's some embossing. Really nice quality paper. I have just put a little tab up here with some lace that is vintage, so that you can see that it opens up here in the center. Here I have extended the avocado dye paper with some embossed paper with roses on, and this is from a vintage photo album. Here is another extension of a page with rose, and this is the page that extends with. Love its image. And down here is a small quote. It says, "You can't complain about because roses have thorns, or you can rejoice because thorns have roses." That's so true. More pages from the original text block. This is an index. Here I have stamped on the tea-dye paper, and this is a Tim Holtz stamp. Here we have a pocket, a tall side pocket, side tuck, and this is washi tape actually that I covered it with. And then we have a Tim Holtz lady down here, and inside it I have put a genuine telegram from 1964. A birthday wishes. Love those roses. And here is a flip with this lovely, I believe it's a young boy, and down here we have some, I believe it's Tim Holtz wallpaper ephemera. We have more tea-dye paper. We have more stationery. We have a vintage envelope that has been opened up for extra journaling space. And here we have a English dictionary from, I didn't write a date here, but we have the rose window, and this is the dictionary page about rose. In the center we have a French vintage genuine document, and I believe it's a receipt or something. Really lovely. This is also from Jacqueline at Souvenir de la France. Here it says 1966 dictionary or encyclopedia, I believe it is. And the envelope, the stationery, and the book page. And here is a genuine French wine label from 2012. And on top of it, I have just put a fussy cut of Pierre-Joseph Redouté, and he is the one that drew all the roses, these lovely rose images and other lovely flower images, and I thought he could go in here and leave his legacy. We have more tea dye paper, coffee dyed. This is also from the original text block. I have picked out many of the pages that were blank or like index, and so no images of bugs. This is from a 1806 vintage or antique book, and it's rag paper. This is a page from a vintage newspaper clippings book that I bought. It was empty, and I love those pages, nice and yellowed. We have another folio from another rose book. Love that image. And in the center we have another French document, another receipt from 1922. And here we have another pocket that's tag shaped, and you open it up and you can journal inside, some hidden journaling space. Inside it we have this, it's just note paper, and then there is a piece of Stamperia paper as well. Let's see if I can get it in. This is the original flyleaf of the book, and that is, let me see, here, that is tipped in on top of that. So this is a tip in, and it's just been hinged with some paper. This is a lovely image from another book about British gardens. And once again, the roses. You see the theme, right? We have more coffee dye paper. And this is one of the few pages I have put in from the original text block that actually has images on it. And we have butterflies, and I feel butterflies is okay. So, more coffee dyed. And here we have another vintage French document from 1843. So this is really old. Quite battered, but I like it. And here we have another one of the stamps, original ones. Here we have an old scrapbooking paper that I had, and I just layered this lovely lady on top of it. This is from a book, and that I cut out. And then we have another piece of Tim Holtz wallpaper ephemera. So I love the colors here, a bit more than in the rest of the book. This is from a notebook that I found thrifting that has these lovely scalloped edges. And another piece of French book page, once again from Jacqueline. And here we have a fun page. This one, of course, CD envelope. It flips out. And this image here comes out of it. If you want to, you can journal on the back. And then this one also flips out. And this is more of the Pierre-Joseph Redouté's paintings. And I think it's quite fun with the layering. And in the center here is scrapbooking paper that I had, that I knew I had to use in this journal. Lovely. And lots of journaling space around here. On the back of it, here is a belly band with a Tim Holtz collage strip, and I put some lace on the top and bottom, and in it I put one of the journaling cards that I made and one I used to lose it lately. We have more of the French book page, scallop edge. Here we have a pocket, as you can see. Inside it is a piece, just a basic tag, more of the lovely sari silk, the same one as in the closure. That goes in here. And here is a rose that is stamped, and it's a Tim Holtz stamp on this piece of craft cardstock. No, not cardstock, craft paper. And this one you can pull out and you can journal all around it. And that's just some laundry labels up there. This is the rest of the 1840 something French document. We have more tea-dye paper and more with the butterflies and more coffee dyed. Small, this is also dyed with some lace on top of it, a bit more faded. Here we have a fun pocket that's made out of envelopes. So here we have a lovely collage. This flips out. Here we have another one of the journaling cards I made in my Use It to Lose It. Here we have another rose image, and that flips out as well. And in here we have a postcard, the rose on. And here we have another rose image, and inside that pocket we have a genuine antique card. This is from 1904. So I think this is a fun pocket. It's a bit bulky, but it's worth it. Here we have another opened up envelope for extra journaling space. This page has been extended with a piece of my big collage masterboard that I made in one of my Use It to Lose It. It's a big roll, and I cut off a piece of it. And here we have some vintage schoolbook lined paper, lovely vintage color. On this old French book page, I have put this fussy cut of roses, and I think it turned out really nice. And I love this. It's also rag paper. This is also from Jacqueline. Here I have another tip-in with this lovely image backed on some green paper. And that paper is actually flyleaf from another book. So I use all the pieces of paper I have, and I think it's really much fun. So this book has tons and tons of flips and tip-ins and tip-outs and pockets, and I just love it. It's full of things. It's quite interactive. This is from another book. It's been coffee dyed or spritzed with coffee. Here we have Queen Victoria. She was the mother of let me see, it's 1901, so she must be the mother of the grandfather of the current king or something. I don't know the entire heraldry of the Swedish royal family, but she was a Swedish royal in 1901. And she also has a piece of Tim Holtz wallpaper ephemera. The back of the envelope we saw earlier. More register pages. Down here is another little stamp, the same Tim Holtz stamp. And here we have Tim Holtz collage paper on this one. So I have used lots and lots of different mediums in this journal, and I think it's so much fun. Here we have a really old book page. This is from 1742, so this is almost 300 years, and I think that's cool. And on this page I just made a small collage with a piece of book page and a label. We have some nice pink braille paper. This is a piece of French encyclopedia. Lovely colors here. And here the braille paper is hinged with an envelope. and that is of course a tuck spot. And inside is this tag that I made using an envelope that I just folded and sewed around, and that idea came from Nancy at Wishes and Weeds, I believe. And I just love I think it was from her. Love this collage. So she goes in here. Here we have another collage on the edge. We have the original mold from the book. We have a piece of Stamperia paper. We have some Tim Holtz ephemera, some small pieces from different books, and I think it turned out quite nice. So it's just a page decoration. More tea-dyed paper. Here is a book plate from the original text block with tropical butterflies. This is a genuine vintage ledger from 1920. Love the handwriting on this one. And it's actually from a ship, from a schooner named Rapid, the Swedish one. Here I have taken book pages and book folios, and I have just glued them together to make pockets. And I have spritzed them with coffee. This is another journaling card I made in my Use It or Lose It, with roses and butterfly wings. We have avocado dyed paper. In the center we have a lovely image from a book from 1800s, I believe. Look at the foxing here, and it's really lovely. It's like a photo, but it's an etching from Stockholm. Beautiful. Here we have some stenciling I did with a stencil from Tim Holtz. And in this double pocket we have another journaling card with a rose, of course. And we have more of the ledger. We have more another color plate from the original text block. Here is some more tea-dyed paper, and we have a lost signature. And this is a French book from 1840 with has different plays in it, so it's different scenes. And this is from a vintage book where you practiced your handwriting in school. Here we have another tip-in. It's been backed with some lined paper. It's been tipped in with a paper strip and lovely yellow roses. And on top of it I put this. This is actually some glacing paper from a stamp album, and I thought, well, why not? I'm gonna use it here. As I said, I use every scrap of paper I can find. Here we have another stamp. This is another flyleaf page, and it's been hinged with a magazine page, a French magazine page. I have just put some lace along the edge and added this lovely image of a lady up here. Here is another music page, and here we have another fun thing. This idea came from Wendy's journaling adventure a couple of years back, and it's a vintage genuine small envelope that flips out. Here we have a lovely image of a rose, of course, and it's a tip-in, so you can journal on the back of it. And inside the envelope we have a small card that you can journal on if you like. lots and lots of journaling space, even though this book is so packed with images. That's the center, and here is the magazine page that was hinged to the fly leaf. Absolutely gorgeous image. It's from a French fashion magazine in the 1800s. And you also get an embroidery pattern. We have some more tea dyed, and here, this is a page from the original text block. We have a genuine vintage birthday card for, on your 50th birthday, and I glued it in on two sides to make a pocket with one journaling card, and this is a tag from Stamperia. And if you open this up, take the paper clip off, you can open this and you can journal inside, because this has never been used. Isn't it cool? I think it's really cool. So I just put the paper clip with some chiffon on it. Let me see if I can turn the page. There we go. And we have more of the handwriting paper and more of the French magazine théâtral. And it says fin, which means the end in French. We have reached the back. We have more of the same scrapbooking paper, more of the sewn in pocket with the roses on, and inside it we have this genuine vintage postcard, and we have this little, it's a small notebook that I made out of a border, wallpaper border, and just a few pages inside to journal on. So that is it. The big book of roses is finished. I hope you enjoyed this flip through. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you are interested, this book will be available in my Etsy shop later today. Thank you all so much for watching. I will be back soon with another video. Bye!